Okay, so you just finished your project or your school project, and what we called it was capstone, and you want to package it up so you can release it. Well, you don't want to send just a zip file and tell people to unzip it and run the executable. You'd like to have a nice little installer where it puts an icon on the desktop and they can install it where they want to, and then they just double click the icon to run your game, just like any other game you download. So what you want to do first is you're just gonna look for a program called Innosetup, 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 right here, and you're gonna go to download, and you want a stable release, and then just grab one of these like random site US or Netherlands. I'm not gonna do it because I've already installed it. So then you just go ahead and install it like you normally would, and then let's see here, where's it at? Let me go ahead and run the program here. So you're going to run Innosetup. I already have some stuff in here, but you're just going to create a new script file using the wizard. Now, you can look at all these options if you want, like filling in all this information here, or you can just go ahead and click next through everything. I would like for you to pay attention to all that stuff, just kind of take a look at it, see what the options are. But we're going to fill this stuff out manually because going through that does not fill out everything that we need the way we need it. So we're just going to go through these, and I'm going to walk you through how to set it up. So my game from school is called Not So Fast, so I'm going to call the app name Not So Fast. Give it a version number up here. My company is actually Not So, yeah, if I can learn to spell right. Not So Entertaining Productions, and then the website is going to be notso.co, and this is actually the name of the app that gets created from Unity, Unreal, whatever program you're using. So when I do a build, it comes out being called notsofast.exe. All right, so down here in the next section. Now, once you get all this filled out, all you need to do is change some of these details, like the exe and a couple things down here, and you can just resave it under the new name and use this script over and over. Now, if you want to do that, this is important. This GUID right here, this needs to be generated for every new game. Not the same game that you just keep rebuilding, but every new game. So you would highlight it, go to Tools, Generate GUID, hit Yes, and you can see it recreates, or it creates a new number, but it adds an extra set of curly braces, which you don't need. So just go ahead and remove those. So you need 2 at the beginning and 1 at the end. So that's how you do that one. All right, so then we got app name, app version. It grabs all this stuff. These are just variables. Okay, so let's see here, auto PF, yep. So we're gonna scroll on down. So now what we're gonna do is create an output directory. So that is going to be output directory. Yep, see, it auto fills. All right, now for me, in my particular case, now there's not gonna be any brackets here. This is just where you want it. So I want it in C:// we're going to do users, not so, and I want it on my desktop. So I want it on my desktop. So then we give it, what file name do we want to call it after it creates that icon? So I'm just going to call mine Not So Fast. So now we got to tell it where the icon is. So in this case, we're going to do setup icon file. All right. Let's see, that's going to equal, you know what, I'm going to pull it from the same place. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, because I'm just going to put it on my desktop directly. But I'm actually going to give it a name, notso.ico. So what that is, that would be this icon right here. So when I compile this, it's going to create notso.exe with this icon. You don't have to use it. You can just use the default icon. It'll create, which is fine. So you don't have to do this. You can also go to a website, create your own, get a PNG, whatever, and you can just type in PNG to ICO or JPEG to ICO, and there's any number of free converters. Upload your file. You can even select one of these weird angled or shaped ones, whatever, and then tell it to convert. What those would end up looking like, I have one over here which I've used. Give me a second here. Okay, I had to pause the video. Sorry about that. I think I was showing you. Oh yes, the icon. You could pick one of those other ones, and it'll end up looking like this, all nice and wonky, crooked like. Okay, so where were we? Oh yes, the icon. So now we've given the location of the icon. You can put it anywhere you want. You don't have to put it on your desktop like I did. I just find it easier just to drop it there. Maybe create an icon folder and just keep everything in that one folder. Languages, I'll leave that up to you. English is good enough for me. Let's see here. As far as tasks go, we're going to go ahead and leave those alone. Let me see. Can I shrink this up just a little bit? Because we want that to end it unchecked. Flags unchecked. Okay. So now we need to add an entirely new section. So here we're going to drop down, leave a little space, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do the registry. So this will actually create registry entries so it can be installed and uninstalled. Later on, if you decide to create a server of some type for patching and you get a patcher, you can actually use this method here for version checking as well. So anyway, all right, now this I'm actually going to copy and paste from something I had, because I had to look all this up and research this on how to do this. So okay, so what I'm doing here is you can use HKey or HKLU for local user. I'm using HKLM, local machine. I'm creating, or I'm putting it in the software key within the HKLM, and I'm creating a key called NSF. Not so fast. All right, so that's what I'm doing there. Then the next one. All right, we're entering a key version with value data of 1. So what I do is in my patcher for my stuff, I have a text file that I update and say like 1.5, and then when I run the patcher, it actually changes this number from 1.0 to 1.5, so it always checks to make sure that whoever has my game has the latest version. But you don't have to do that, go that far with it. I'm just showing you how to set this up so you can do it. And then this is the install path, so that way it adds it, it adds it to your system, and that so you can uninstall. And you can also install this. This will actually allow the user to install this anywhere they want. All right, so let's see here. So then we move on to files. Files is fine. Well, it's not fine, but I mean we don't have to add anything. We just need to change. So let's see here. I am using my desktop again, so I'm just going to snag it from up here. I can't remember if I grabbed that or not, so we're just going to do this, Control V. Yeah, I already grabbed it. Okay. So I'm grabbing it from the desktop, and then I'm grabbing it from a folder called Not So Fast. So after I create the game, or build the game, I keep it on a different hard drive. On my desktop, I have a folder called Not So Fast, and then I actually just want to take everything in that folder like that. So now the most important thing, otherwise what'll happen is it'll create everything, but it won't create your directories. It'll just copy everything, and when it unpacks it and installs it, it doesn't create your directories. So this right here, these two right here are the most important things to add. That right there will actually go into the subdirectories and get all the files, and then it'll create the directories. So that'll save you a lot of headache. That took a while to figure out because I don't know why it didn't add that automatically. So let's see your desktop icon, etc. No wait, post install, skip if silent. Okay, so we should be finished. So we're going to be ready to try it here. So I already have it. It's right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it. So like I said, we have not so fast right here with my build files. We have the icon. So let's go ahead. Now we can hit the play button. It'll build and then run the actual program itself. So I'm just going to go to build and compile. No, I don't want to save it. You can save it. I already have it saved, obviously. I just recreated it so you could see it. So no. It'll pop up a bug or errors almost immediately if you have a problem. So right now it's, as it says, compressing the files, etc. So I'm going to pause the video for just a minute here. I think it takes like 3 to 4 minutes to compile this, and I'll be right back. All right, as you can see, it's still going. It's almost finished. Shouldn't be too much longer now. I wanted to make sure I started back up so you didn't think I did something weird during the pause there to trick you out here, which of course I wouldn't do. So let's go ahead and full screen this again, so that way you can still see the code here, and pause the video at any point that you need to duplicate any of this. Alright, it's finishing up. There we go. It's done, and it created, like I said, this icon right here. So what will happen is, now that it's finished, if you send this to somebody, the project size is 490 meg. I don't know how big the project is normally. So okay, compacts it. Okay, nice. So we double click it, allow it to run, and then here's what you get. So you get this. So I install. Now you can change, which is really nice, is the way I have it set up is you can change the install directory. So for me, I have a drive set up for games only. So d:\/ not so fast. And it even tells you 1.38 gigs of free space required. And it's 1.37 gig large. So it even tells them how much space they need, even though this is compacted. So we go next. You can create a desktop shortcut. So we go next, install. Okay. Yes, I know, I'm very entertaining. Okay. Hopefully the information I gave you guys here will help you get your games out. This is a good place to get started. This is how I started. And we'll go ahead and we'll launch it. So there it is. The game this is from the icon it's playing. And there it is. Of course, the window, it doesn't like the window. It's too small. So I'm just going to go ahead and cancel out of it. But anyway, you can see that it runs the game just fine, and it you can change. Here's the icon it created. It's a Unity icon. In order to change this icon, you can use a program called Resource Hacker, which actually I don't think I installed it. I think I just put it directly into the folder from a previous install. Give me a second, I'll pull it up. See, apps, Resource Hacker, there you are. So this is Resource Hacker right here. So what you can do is you can open this up, you take your file that you want to change on, and you can see the icon. So you would go to Action, Replace Icon, Open File with a new icon. I go to my desktop, and I can change the not so icon. Hit Replace, and there you go. The game icon has now been replaced. So theoretically, Well, I've actually done it. I mean, that's how this fake EQ thing. That's the launcher, but after it installs, uh, you can see it creates that. So this would be the same thing, only I'm using this. It'll create that icon for the install for the shortcut on the desktop. So that's how you would do that. Then you would just save it. So anyway, there you go. I hope that helps you get your game released, and it's a lot more professional than just zipping a file up saying, unzip this and click this. It creates your icon for you on the desktop. Oh, right here. Oh, wait, I lost it. There it is. Right here, and you're golden.